If there were a few words to sum up the atmosphere of Breath of the Wild, for me it would be dark undertone. The world itself looks pretty damn beautiful. It's a fallen kingdom still in the process of recovery. The tragedy that took place 100 years ago is something that 99% of the current population weren't even born yet when it occurred. Despite things looking bright now, the world has a ton of dark undertones that can be both easy to miss and or right in your face. The kingdom, whilst beautiful, is essentially one big graveyard. The people of Hyrule were relentlessly walked over by the Guardians, but that's not the only dark undertone. Another one would be the Korok seed puzzle statues. Okay, I know what you're thinking. What is dark about these things? They are just little statues for the Korok puzzles. If anything, they look kinda cute. Well, it turns out that the origin and or inspiration behind these puzzles is dark, distressing, and just heartbreaking. In today's video, we will explore the dark origins of the Korok seed statues in Breath of the Wild. Be sure to go and grab yourself a snack or drink and send them in to get featured right here. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, really helps the channel out, and let's get into this one. Also, I'm a tiny bit sick, sorry if you hear that in my voice. To begin, allow me to clarify exactly which statues I am referring to, as I know they can be easily confused. I am talking about these statues, not these. It will become clearer why later in the video, but just to clarify now, we're talking about these ones. So what's up with these statues? Why do they apparently have a dark origin? Well, to answer this question, we should first go over where they are found. To put it simply, everywhere. These little deity-like statues can be found all across Hyrule. Wherever you go, no matter the region, you can and will find them. Don't quote me on that, but more or less everywhere. At face value, they are used to collect a large percentage of the 900 Korok seeds hidden in the game. They're pretty simple puzzles, if you can even call it that. Usually there will be 2 or 3 of them, with one missing something the other 2 have. In this case, an apple. To complete the puzzle, you must drop one apple into the bowl of the odd one out, and boom, Korok seed. This seems pretty lighthearted, right? Well, allow me to ruin that lighthearted Korok puzzle fun for you. These statues are actually based on Japanese Jizo statues. Don't know what that is? Well, a Jizo statue, from my understanding, based off my own research, sources linked below, is that Jizo statues are, well, maybe it'd be easier if I just read this directly to you. Jizo, Womb of the Earth, as they are called, are made in the image of Jizo Bosatsu, guardian deity of children and travelers. They're also known as the Earth Bearer, so Jizo statues are made out of stone, which is said to have spiritual power for protection and longevity that predates Buddhist beliefs. Jizo Bosatsu is a kind and patient deity, and so the statues are fine with eroding under rainwater and being covered in moss. These small stone incarnations greet us along the trail, bringing protection and power when we need it. Interesting, right? Well, the page continues to read, another purpose of the Jizo is to protect the spirits of children who have passed away. It is said that when a child dies before their parents do, they are not able to cross the river to the afterlife, and so their days are spent making towers of stones to help gain merit for their parents in their own afterlife. However, mean-spirited yokai, monster or demon, knock down these stone towers each day, so the children begin their Seisphine task anew. That is heartbreaking. Given how the events of 100 years ago went down, innocent families just wiped clean out by the wrath of Calamity Ganon, not just the men, but the women and children too. With many of these innocent citizens of Hyrule not knowing what hit them, I'm sure many were in their homes when the full brunt of the calamity struck. Many children would have before their parents. Many together, surrounded by their loved ones, knowing the incoming fate, others separated and distressed. These events were horrifying, and a time that the kingdom would like to avoid a repeat of and move on and forward, but they haven't forgotten those who fell. Given the similarities between Jizo statues and the ones seen in Breath of the Wild, we can in fact confirm that these statues also serve the purpose of honouring those children that were lost during the calamity. The origin of these statues is the people of Hyrule from the times following the Great Calamity, placed all over Hyrule for those fallen youths, but it doesn't end there. These statues have 2 more key details, a Korok connected to them, and also a gift. You could speculate that the Korok attached to each of these puzzles represents a fallen child, but that's purely speculative. There's also the puzzle itself. We leave gifts for these little statues, and this actually has a meaning behind it as well. It varies with who you ask or where you read, but generally speaking, it is common for travellers to leave gifts such as toys. Now, whilst we don't leave toys in Breath of the Wild, we do leave food, which in my opinion is another type of gift, or at least a gesture. And something interesting done in real life, but not in the game, is that travellers would often dress them in red hats and bibs. The reason? well, the page reads, in the colder months, local people will take care of Jizo by dressing them with red bibs and hats, as helping a Buddhist monk is a virtuous gesture and, again, earns more of that credit for getting into the afterlife. The colour red, in Japan, wards away illness and danger, so it is the perfect colour for a guardian deity. Honestly, there are a lot of interesting facts to learn about the Jizo statues in real life. It's clear that the inspiration was taken from them, and rightfully so. It fits so well. They are heartbreaking reminders of what happened to innocent children, but at the same time, they serve as guardian deities for those children who were unable to pass into the afterlife, caught somewhere in between. This is their protection, if you like, and every time that we complete one, we are actually helping the fallen youth of 100 years ago. I highly recommend checking out the pages I've linked below, as these give you more details on the statue, and it's quite fascinating. There are more features and traditions in real life than seen in the game, such as how in real life, travellers would build little stone towers in front of the Jizo statues to reduce their workload as an act of kindness from travellers. One paragraph describes this well, reading, "The value of these stone towers is not only in their ability to gain credit for the afterlife, they are also a form of protection. Once the stone towers are destroyed, the yokai are free to hunt the children, and this is when Jizo Bosatsu hides the children beneath his clothing. He becomes their caretaker in place of their parents." So that's the origins behind the statues. Honestly, I'm not sure if dark is the right word to use. Yes, it is extremely dark that these represent hundreds of fallen children that were brutally wiped out during the calamity, but I can't help but feel a sense of happiness knowing that the people of Hyrule came together to honour those that fell 100 years ago. It's heartbreakingly beautiful. The information is honestly a brilliant read, so be sure to check it out. If there's one thing to take away from this video, it would be that next time you see one of these Korok puzzles, remember why it is there, and don't just run past it. Thanks a ton for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content. What did you think of the video? Personally, I love learning little origin tales like this and find it extremely fascinating as to where different parts of the game, big or small, came from. Leave a comment below of your thoughts and maybe something else you'd like to see covered, and look out for my replies. As always, a huge special thank you goes out to all of my supporters across Patreon and YouTube. If you'd like to join them and get yourself a shout out upon joining and your name at the end of every video, then consider supporting. Again, thanks for watching, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.